Most people don't hate their jobs or their lives, they just feel burdened by the weight of everyday tasks. But what if the problem isn't the task? What if the issue is the perception of the tasks? Science tells us that how you label an activity can literally change your neurochemical response to it. Saying I have to triggers stress. Saying I get to activates appreciation and even dopamine. Same task, different inner world. When you change your inner world, your outer world starts to shift too. And that's not just fluff, it's neuroscience. This one simple mindset shift can help you to feel more empowered and more motivated, can reduce emotional resistance to daily tasks, can improve your mental health and productivity, can reconnect you with your purpose. It can rewire your brain towards joy, gratitude, and peace. So where are you now? Are you tired, frustrated with the world, burnt out, irritated by your to-do list, or drained by any of life's obligations? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be motivated, purposeful, and energized, even when you're doing things like the dishes or working overtime? What's in your way? The belief that you're trapped in your responsibilities, or trapped in a relationship, trapped in circumstances, or maybe a mindset of obligation rather than appreciation. What is the path of least resistance for you? Reframe every I have to into an I get to. Turn your burdens into blessings. Turn your obligations into opportunities. Just like you, in my own life, I've had to reframe obligations into opportunities. There's a story behind how I got to be teaching Chiron healing. There was a time when I didn't get to teach Chiron healing. I had to. At least that's how I felt about it. I was a young, passionate chiropractor. I loved my work. I loved watching people recover from conditions that the medical system had already written off. I loved the results. I was good at it and my patients got well. But everything changed because of one disruptive patient. Our clinic ran like a beautiful, smooth machine. It was custom built. It was custom built as a multi-doctor practice. It was designed for beautiful aesthetics, for flow, for speed and for efficiency. And everyone knew their role. Everyone was in rhythm until Jan. Jan, the patient, didn't fit. While other patients lay comfortably on their backs waiting for their assessments and their adjustments, Jan was always on her feet, pacing, contemplating, resisting the rhythm, slowing me down. She refused to lie down on the table until she wanted to. She talked, she stalled, she smelled bad. She took twice as long, 3 times as long to adjust as anybody else. And she made me angry, and she knew it. She knew it because Jan wasn't just any other patient. She was a trance medium. She could see auras. She talked to dead people. What I didn't know at this time was that Jan wasn't just frustrating for me. She was about to become the catalyst for the next level up of my life's purpose. One weekend, we brought Jan in for a group evaluation with my colleagues. She had a bunch of out of the ordinary and seemingly extreme health issues. And that day, Trevor did a cranial adjustment, pressing up in the roof of the mouth, when something quite remarkable happened. A voice that wasn't Jan's came through her. It told Trevor exactly where to place his hands, what to do, and for how long. And when she got off the table, Jan said, "I can smell the flowers." And it didn't even make sense at first, until we realised that amongst all of her other issues, she hadn't been able to smell at all. Everything changed from that moment. Jan went from being a tarot reader and a medium to channeling the ancient healer gods, Asclepius, Chiron, and Kira. The archetypes of the wounded healer, the kings of the centaurs. We witnessed a miracle, and my life was never the same. I think I was 22 years old. From then on, every Friday night, a small group of us gathered. Jan would go into trance, and Asclepius, Kira, and the Master Chiron would teach us, step by step, method by method, week after week. And these weren't vague spiritual concepts. They were practical, powerful, precise healing protocols, including etheric surgery. During the week, I tested them on patients. And on Friday nights, I came back with questions, and we all learned more. I was told the price you pay for being given access to this information is you must share it. You have to teach it. I didn't volunteer. I didn't plan this. And I resisted it because at the time I was already running a fully booked practice, a home, and 3 stepchildren. I also resisted it because there was no scientific language for what we were doing yet. There was no quantum field theory in public discussion. There was no popularized neuroplasticity. There was no language of energy healing or somatic trauma resolution. Reiki hadn't even entered the mainstream. So I did it in secret. At first, I practiced these techniques while patients were laying face down so they couldn't see what I was doing. I was cautious, I was self-conscious, and I was walking a razor's edge between science and spirit. But then something changed. Patients started saying, they were saying things like, "I haven't had a migraine since I saw you last week. My asthma's gone. My digestion's completely different. I'm pregnant." And they started asking, "What did you do differently?" I had a choice to continue hiding or to own it. So I was pressured into owning it. I turned patients up so that they could see what I was doing. I stopped pretending. I claimed my role, not just as a chiropractor, but as a Chiron healer, a bridge between science and mysticism. And that's when it happened. The burden lifted, the obligation softened. I went from I have to teach Chiron healing to I get to teach and speak about all things science and mysticism, all things health and philosophy, all things masculine and feminine union, love and logic. Now I see the incredible privilege of the path instead of the burden that it seemed to be. Now I get to unite the head and the heart. Now I get to teach people how to unite their inner masculine and their inner feminine. Now I get to teach people how to reconnect with their intuition and their intellect. I get to defy all the old stereotypes and open new doorways. And that makes all the difference. So how can you do it? How do you reframe I have to into I get to in your life? How do you do this in a functional way? The first step is to catch the thought. Become aware of the language you use. Every time you think or say, I have to, pause and acknowledge the internal tension and repackage it. For example, I have to go to work can be, I get to go to work and earn a living. I have to meal prep can be, I get to nourish myself and my family. I have to exercise can be, I get to move and strengthen my body today. And the next step is to reframe it. Ask yourself, what is the gift within this seeming obligation? Even the toughest tasks are connected to values like freedom, health, love, or purpose. Find the deeper reason. For example, I get to clean my home can be because I have a home. I get to file taxes can be because I earn an income. I get to show up for my child can be because I have a child and because they still need me. And the third step is to fuel it. Pair your reframe with a moment of gratitude or affirmation to hardwire the shift into your nervous system.